1476, the year after the siege of Neuss and some other campaigns in France, Charles the Bold took his army to the Franche-Comté near the current Swiss border and then into Switzerland. He wanted to reconquer the castle of Rançon, which had been seized by the Swiss from Jacques de Savoie, Count of Romont. On the 2nd of March, while marching towards Volmarcus, the Burgundians bumped into the Swiss army much earlier than expected. Due to a misunderstanding, Charles the Bold's army fled the battlefield and the Duke had no choice but to join them. This way he lost an almost legendary amount of his possessions, including his very advanced and costly artillery, his tents, his seals, his furniture, his clothing, jewelry, relics, books, tapestries, and so on. This video is not about the Battle of Rançon itself, but about experiencing the environment. As luck would have it, our gîte, part of a farmhouse in Longueville, Mont d'Or, was very close to the mountain pass the Burgundians took to march up to Rançon. The viewpoint on the Mont d'Or offers a great view of the pass and the surrounding landscape well into Switzerland. In the right weather conditions, it's even possible to spot the Mont Blanc. It's also easy to spot Jougnes. Jougnes is now a small modern village with a very busy road on the edge, the passageway between France and Switzerland. In 1476, this was the pass the Burgundians took to march up to Rançon. Jougnes was a fortified village with a castle where Charles the Bold stayed a number of days during this campaign. The castle is now gone and there are just a few remnants in private properties, but it was located about here. We had reserved 1 day for Switzerland, which was probably not enough. We were also a bit limited by the battery capacity of our electric car, which goes through a lot more power in the mountains. We avoided the toll roads and passed through Orbe, right by the castle, but didn't stop and I didn't take any pictures. I assumed we would go back via the same route and there would be an opportunity to stop at that time. I could hit myself for that now, because we took another mountain pass more to the north to return to the gîte later that day. But not to mind, there were a few other places for which we did not have time and which are still on the to-do list, so a follow-up visit is in order. Just before Yverdon, we passed the castle of Chanvin, which also played a role in the events in 1476, but this castle is a private property and cannot be visited. Rançon is a small town, probably more like a village. It was quite busy when we arrived, but there was a parking spot right next to the castle. Before we travelled, I had done some research about interesting places to visit, and Rançon being so close to our gîte was a nice surprise. But I was a little disappointed to discover that the castle was still undergoing renovations and had been completely emptied. Last September, the renovation works on the castle were still in full swing, but there was still a possibility to visit it, only during a guided tour of the renovation works, and for which we had to don high-vis jackets and wear a safety helmet. It was off-season and it was a bit of an unusual attraction, so it was rather quiet. We were alone for the scheduled visit and we received what was basically a private tour. That was a unique experience. To be honest, I concentrated on the visit and did not film that much, so what follows is just an impression.
Ça c'était, on est sur une moraine, ça c'est le château, ici on était le château. Parce que sur 40 km sud, il y a une... Ça a été. Il n'y a pas de changement ici. Uniquement le nouveau changement, c'était l'ouverture, la porte. Et maintenant, on a fait une isolation en bas, on va creuser pour l'humidité ne monte plus. Et la ventilation, parce que la réception va être après ici. Et on ne peut pas les chauffer parce que... Le dernier dixième, on est malade. une pente. Il a eu un glissement. Et le glissement a fait ici la pierre. C'est le XVIIe siècle. Tous les fromages, on ne les mangeait plus ici. Ça partait à l'exportation pour le... Et ça, c'est un peu romantisme du 18e, 17, 19. Ça, c'est le plan de l'année 1913. Et après, en l'hiver, ils ont été de retour dans leur château. Et de retour dans le château, qu'est-ce qu'on fait? On crée des contacts avec les autres. Et on fait des fêtes. Tout l'hiver, on vit dans le château. Et quand on a fait le décapage, on a trouvé ces villes qui ont été souvent bleues, un peu l'éternité. Et le mur, normalement, ils ont été avec une sang. Ils ont été consacrés à leur sang. Mais c'est là, il n'est pas consacré à un sang, c'est là, il y a... c'était le propriétaire, Gustave. Tout le monde dit d'accord, tout le monde est content. Et pour ça, chaque... C'est charpente 1300. Ils ont changé, le tuilage a changé, mais ils ont gardé les deux charpentes. Et pour ça, pour nous, c'est intéressant, on voit les deux. C'est prêt, je reste le maximum de temps, je raconte mes histoires ici. Quand vous regardez en bas, les deux puits, on a le puits qui descend 30 mètres. Et à côté, il y a un trou dans le mur. Et normalement, durant l'année, il y a une aqueduc jusqu'à l'autre côté qui a amené l'eau directe. Dans le cas de guerre, ils ont utilisé le puits qui va descendre. Et pour la facilité, c'était l'eau qui est venue de la mer. Et là, en bas aussi, c'est toujours... Si vous voulez faire une photo, allez-y au fond. La garnison, Charles le Téméraire est venu, il a fait une tire dans la tour, il a explosé la tour. Et après les Bernois, ils ont eu plus de poutres pour se battre. Et après, ils sont mis en Suisse, et je vais avoir un verre, et je vais regarder ces châteaux. Ça, c'est votre village plus loin. Vous avez tout le terrain où il était la bataille. Important pour les archéologues qui voient beaucoup de murs bruts.
In 1475, the Swiss Confederation conquered the castle. When Charles the Bold's troops reconquered the castle in February 1476, the Duke had a garrison hanged or drowned in the lake. This, of course, caused great fury among the Swiss when they discovered this. It's worth noting that the lake used to come up right to the castle and was very defendable from that side. It also explains why the Swiss soldiers were drowned when the Burgundians retook the castle. I think the position of the lake was changed to avoid inundations. During the tour, the guide said the battlefield was close near Concise and we should go there, but that was the plan anyway. On the 2nd of March, the Burgundians moved towards Volmarcus. Before Charles had sent some elite troops to conquer the castle. At that time, the castle at Volmarcus did not have a drawbridge and was rather dilapidated. Now, it's called the Battle of Granson, but the actual clash where the Burgundians fled took place near Concise.
We hebben het gezien.